What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is J9 Lion, and today I'm going to explain the stock slang for today. Slang. It is. It's a slang. I feel like it's kind of like whenever you're in a hood, or you're in an area where they use certain words, and they use a certain amount of slang. That's just what it is. You're like, what does that mean? You don't want to feel dumb to I don't know what that means, right? So today I'm going to explain basically the what everything means in the stock market as far as words and what people are, you may hear you don't understand in my channel. Basically, like, I use a lot of those words, and today I'm going to break it down exactly what those words mean. Like, for example, I'll give you guys word number one: bullish. Bullish. What is bullish? Okay, bull in the market is somebody that believes the stock will rise. That's what a bullish mindset is, or a bullish bias. Somebody that believes the stock's gonna rise, right? Or a long position, bull long, or basically bull in a long, right? Those are referring to a stock going to the north. So short seller or bearish, right? Bearish is whenever they believe the stock's gonna go to the ground, basically going to infinity, to the whole, to zero. Not necessarily, but you get understanding. Now, what do those mean in the charts? Okay, well, in the charts, okay, see, the green candles you see here are bullish candles. That means that there was more buyers, more people buying, and that it managed to make a rise in the stock. Red means, like everything else, it's bleeding, and your people are just selling. They're just selling their stock. That's basically what those mean. Now, whenever you're starting, to trade, you're like, well, okay. The first thing is like, well, buyers, right? Everybody, because psychologically, you don't think that people can make money going down, right? It just doesn't make that sense, right? It doesn't make sense. But they don't teach you that. But I'm gonna teach you why that's important. So, with that being said, right? This is an uptrend. Uptrend going to the up, right? Keeps going. It comes down lower, but it's still considered an uptrend. Why is it considered an uptrend? We're making a lower. This is our first low, higher high, lower lows, and then another high. That's still an uptrend, right? Because we're making lower lows. We never break this blue line right here, right? We do break it, but then we come back to it, and then we come back down, and we test the bottom, and then we rise, and then we start climbing. So it's considered a bullish trend. This is considered a bullish trend. So if you were to buy the stock somewhere around here, you would have made money, because your biased ways would have made you money just thinking the stock would have made money, right? So if you're a short seller, this is not profitable for you, because if you're a short seller, you're expecting, or a bearish perspective is that the stock will go to the downside, right? So now you're like, but why would people want a stock to go to the downside? Well, because you can make as much money as going up as it going down, baby. So just like I said, like, there's people out there that want to make money going up. There's people that want this stock to go to the ground. So, all right, let me explain short selling. Short seller is somebody that takes a negative position. Basically, they're borrowing the shares from the broker, and they're expecting the stock to go down, and that's how they make money. So they make the same difference between what they borrowed it at to the downside. Same thing as, like, you were buying it at $4 and it rises to $5, so you made $1 in profit. But if you short sell it at $4 and it goes to $3, then you made $1 as well. It's the same thing. See, a lot of people don't know that, and now I'm gonna tell you why that's important. Well, let me tell you why that's important. Because just like you, there's out there people that want the stock to rise. They want people to go down. And why is that affecting you? Well, because if all the bearish mindsets get together one day, and guess what? And they jump in to the negative side, you're going to lose money. So, because there's more of the weight on that side. So it's like a balance, right? So if there's more bulls over here, the stock's gonna rise. But if there's more bears, it's gonna go down. So that's why you need to understand why short sellers are important in the market, because you do not want to go against the trend. You don't want to go against the trend. Why? I'm gonna give you an example. You buy right here, right? Somewhere around here. A lot of short sellers start looking. Oh, it's weakness. It's not rising no more. Okay, we're gonna jump in it. Boom, they jump short it. They start shorting it. Boom, just keeps going down. It starts getting rejected on this blue line right here, the EMA. Just keeps going down. It keeps going down, and somebody that's short selling, they just keep making bread right there all day, every day. Yes, they can make money as much as you make going up. They can make it to the downside, and that's what they want. And how do they always instill fear? They'll put bad news out there. They'll tell people to sell their shares. They go on stock Twix and just start sell your shares. Do this and that, and that's how you basically they make money. I mean, and it's a way of manipulation, but it's very common in the stock market. I'm gonna give an example. Let's say Tesla's a prime example. Tesla back in I think 2019, or I think it was almost 18. It's 2018, somewhere in there. They were just Tesla was just getting eaten up all the time about bad news. Tesla was a failure company, yada yada. They ain't gonna make it. Blah, blah. You had all these bad articles, just crazy articles, right? And that's what made it. It's made it to the freaking moon. Check it out. If you go back, right? Back here, the stock was at $66. If you would have shorted the stock somewhere around here, you've lost 300% or so. So that means if you shorted with $10,000, you've lost $30,000. And there's people out there that will short a stock because they take it personal, You can't take this personal. This is nothing. This is business. So if you take, trading personal, this may not be the thing for you. And the reason why being said is because some people just hold their biased ways to believe that their way is the right way. And in the market, that's not how it works. You have to be able to attach yourself to the trend. If the trend is bullish, you jump in with the trend. If it's bearish, you'd be like, nah, I'm good. It's just not for me. And, I'll keep it moving. But as of right now, that's what I'm saying. There's people out there that can make money going to the upside, and there's people out there that can make money going to the downside. Just like that. So if you have that understanding already, right? If they start putting bad news, let's say you buy a stock at $10. That morning they put out a bad news report, and you're like, holy crap, and it's already down 10%. You're like, oh man, well, it's already down 10%. It ain't going, it can't drop anymore. All right, let's say that day stays around 10%, right? The next morning, it drops another 5%. And you're like, well, I'm already down 15%. It's got to have a bounce up a little. It's going to recover. Wrong. The next morning, you're down 20. It drops another 20%. You're like, good God. Well, I might as well hold it. I've been here long enough. But see, if you would have sold it since the very get-go, because the trend was already bearish because of the news, you would have saved yourself like 20 to 30% already right there, right? So, and if you really like that company and you feel like that's something that eventually is going to get somewhere, I sell it at that moment and wait until it bottoms out, or not necessarily bottom out, but at least closer to a bottom that I feel like, for example, if I sold it at 9 and it dropped down to 4, that's probably a good time. That's almost 50. That's more than 50%. 50% retracement. That's a deal. Don't average down. I don't do averaging down. No averaging down for me. I either take the position, I'll just sell it and I'll buy it later. I can always buy it later. There's no problem with that. So now that we understand that, let's just you understand that there's short sellers and there's bulls out there. So now that you understand that there's psychology and it matters onto what you're going to be trading, because there's going to be people looking for different angles from up or down. So that's bullish and bearish. Basically, the two understandings: bearish, bullish, short sellers, and longs. Those are the same ones. Also, in the stock market, you have uptrends, you have downtrends, you have all the patterns, triangles, you have bull flags, bear flags, you have cupping handle patterns, head and shoulder patterns. You have so many patterns that, like I said, they mean something to other traders. So that's important for you to understand so you can follow the trend, and at the same time also know when to get out, you know? And in this channel you'll learn how to do that. I mean, I'll show you exactly how to ride these waves right here. These waves were like, oh my god, you look at that hype, and they're like, when? But the thing is, like, when do I get out? How do I know when to get out? There's in the market, there's other options here that you can always learn to know when to get out from a trend. There really is. But you have to learn, I mean, like I said, it takes time. So right now, this is a bullish, on the long spectrum, Tesla is still going bullish because it keeps rising. The short term, it's consolidating, right? It's consolidating on the short term. But on the long term, it's bullish, right? See how time frames can mean, different things, and that also means like time frames. 5 minute means different. The minute chart is different. The hour chart different. See the difference? It's consolidating on the hour, but on the minute, it's the downtrend. See how that's that. You have to also watch those things. Is the short term biased to the short side, or is it biased to the bull side on the long term? On the long term, it is bullish. But is it a good deal? No, I don't think, because it's at almost all-time high. To me, that's not a good deal yet. So, now that we got all those things on perspective, we'll look at some other things. Yes. Let's see. Also, let's do some explanation here. We got level 2. The level 2 is like basically level 2 is the price action between what the ask, let's see, the bid and the ask, right? So the bid and the ask is like basically what people are bidding for and what they're asking for. It's like in anything, people are a bargain. Is it a bargain, or is it or just people are just buying? They just want to get in. It just depends on buyers and sellers, right? And this will be the price. The times and sales is basically telling you exactly what's getting bought and what's getting sold. And basically, I mean, this is a good important for a day trader because you're watching how aggressive they're buying or how aggressive they're selling. This is the ladder. I mean, this is where you would put your orders if you want to buy or sell, right? Depends on what you're doing. So, I mean, this is basically just a ladder for a quick access to press it. You press it instant, and it instant sends your orders right there, so it gets filled at that particular price. And this over here is my news. Of the news of the day of the stock or whatever. It announces it right here, the time and the date. And this is called a MACD. It's the MACD is what shows the aggression of the buyer or sellers, basically. Like it's red, meaning too many people are selling, and we're starting to sell off. If you see right here, having these little red candles, so that means that it could start selling off really bad. And the greens will also, obviously they mean that there's more people are buying, basically. Okay. So now the RSI is something that's basically meaning relatively strong index, and that means they're pretty much all the same, sort of, in a way. But this one just tells you when something is overbought or oversold. When it's too overbought, when there's just too many people that are overbought buying something, and it's definitely not a good deal. And that's what I'm saying. So you do need these indicators whenever you're swing trading because it shows a better picture in a way. But on day trading, I use them not a whole lot because day trading is not as relevant. On day trading, I use more of the VWAP. To me, the price, this line right here, determines if the price is bullish or if it's bearish. Because if it's above it, I'm more bullish. But if it's under it, I'm more bearish. That makes sense. So let's see. What else is there to talk about? Another slang. There's not much, other than, like pretty much everything else is like kind of common, but those are the things that you would definitely need to understand so that whenever you're watching my videos or whatever, you have an understanding of what I'm talking about. If I'm like, look at the level 2. Level 2 is looking too bearish, or look at the time and sales. There's too many bears out there. or look at the, there's a hidden seller there. Somebody keeps selling, and stuff like that. That's important because that will tell you exactly what my mind is thinking. So with that being said, just don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and be part of this community. I'll talk to you guys some other day, hopefully tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'll upload anything tomorrow, but I'm trying to get this other place, and once I get my other place going on, I'll have my office, a little office, and I'll have more of a room, and kind of like, I have a little more of a sort of a little more. I can have a little more privacy or whatever. But as of right now, I do upload as much as I can. And I'll, like I said, I'm going to try to grow this channel for you guys, and so you guys can have a good understanding of the market. I want to feed as much as I can to you guys so you guys can be successful. I mean, that's my main goal at the end of the day. I like seeing people prosper, But with that being said, I'll see you guys some other time.